Hi everyone, Mark here from McKenzie Meets. This is our last video of our NC500. We drove from Shieldaig to Culloden and we went up to the visitor centre at Culloden and we went in to the museum. So this is us going into the museum, lots of interesting artefacts from that era, basically telling you the story of Bonnie Prince Charlie and how he raised a Jacobite rebellion and attacked England, basically marched on England, got quite far down, to be fair, well into kind of the Midlands, maybe even further down, and then started to retreat, came back to Scotland and faced the English across the battlefield of Culloden. The visitor centre tells the story of what happened that day. It tells you more than that. It tells you basically the lead up to the battle, everything that happened, how Bonnie Prince Charlie had come across from France, I think, secretly, and formed an army and, as I say, marched on England, won some decisive battles on his way down through England, got to a certain point, I believe winter took over and they felt that it was prudent to retreat back to Scotland until the better weather, and ultimately they met the English on the battlefield. Well, when I say the English, there was more than just English on the battlefield fighting for the crown, and faced each other across Culloden Moor. So it's a very interesting place. It's really worth going to. Certainly the museum has some fantastic artefacts. You can spend quite a lot of time in there. I've tried to... I was filming and I realised I wasn't allowed to film, so I've got some video of inside the museum when I made a mistake and shouldn't have been filming, and then I stopped. So there is more to the museum than what you see here. As you see up above here, you've got two sides to the museum. You've got the government side, or the crown side, and you've got the Jacobite side, so you can read both sides of the story and the lead up and during the battle itself. Lots of interesting stuff. You should be able to pause certain parts of the videos and you should be able to read the plaques, but as I say, there's a whole lot more than what you see in this video, and definitely if you get the opportunity, I would definitely recommend that you get up there and experience it for yourself. So yeah, we've come out the visitor centre here, quite unique. You go up these stairs and you go along a walkway and you actually come back out on top of the visitor centre. So, and then you're from the top of the visitor centre, you're looking back across the battlefield out in front of you with the English. So you've got red flags and blue flags. The red flags are the Crown forces, the government forces, and the blue flags in the distance are the Jacobite forces. So this plaque kind of gives you an idea of the elevation, the battlefield. This video here, this part of the video, off in the distance you can see blue flags, or hopefully you can see some blue flags flying. That symbolises the Jacobite lines, so the lines of Bonnie Prince Charlie's army in the distance. The red flags in front of us are the government forces lines, so you can see that the Jacobite army charged the government forces quite a considerable distance they had to travel, and I believe that kind of brought on its own problems. So further down we'll see some more of that. So this plaque here gives you an idea of the forces, where the forces were. So the red flags are the government army, the blue flags are the Jacobite army. Jacobite army charged government forces across the battlefield. The left flank of the Jacobite army got bogged down in heavy mud, and the government forces took advantage of this. They overloaded the right flank, they broke through, and they ultimately encircled the Jacobite armies and caused mass confusion. I believe some of the Jacobites retreated and others were slain on the battlefield. Quite a significant amount of war graves still on the battlefield, a lot of headstones that you'll see further on in the vlog. This is Leonach Cottage. This cottage is believed to have stood on the battlefield at the time. Slightly different shape, but it's got some interesting stuff inside, some nice interesting stuff about the actual cottage itself. Just kind of detailing how they've went about restoring the battlefield and maintaining it, and the archaeological digs, etc., that have been undertaken as part of the restoration of the battlefield. And quite interestingly, there's a nod to my own clan, McKenzie, coming up, which is quite interesting. I mean, the clan McKenzie is fought at Culloden. That's well known, but it's quite interesting to see the small artefact in the cottage. So it'll be interesting if you can see it. If you notice it, then add a comment down below. So this is a headstone showing where the English dead were buried on the field. There's only one of these. There are multiple headstones for the Scottish clans. I'm unsure if the English were brought back to one point and buried in a mass grave, and the Scots were buried where they fell. Unsure, so be interesting if anybody knows the answer. They could add it to the comments, that would be great. This is a monument on the battlefield, basically to the dead of Culloden. So this was built, I believe the plaque states it was built by charity work more recently, and it's been restored a couple of times. So again, red flags are showing the government lines, blue flags are showing the Jacobite lines. And I just wonder if anybody noticed the Clan McKenzie hint that I spoke about. Did you manage to put it in the comments? It was very subtle indeed, so hopefully you did notice it. So this is the final parts of the video, the headstones that we've seen. There are multiple headstones dotted about, so get up there, have a look. I'd like to thank you for watching all the videos that we've put together, and as I say, subscribe, hit the notification button, and give us some comments and some likes, and we'll try and answer everything. So thanks very much for watching. There'll be more content coming, and we hope you've enjoyed our NC500. So subscribe, hit the notification button, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks very much.